Hey guys, I'm Keith Allen from Banded. This morning we were filming an episode of The Foul Life with Chad Belding. We were hunting out of the Axe Combo Boat Shore Blind, and it occurred to me that with all the features of the Axe blind, possibly its greatest feature is its versatility. I think of this blind primarily as a boat blind. We grew up hunting out of blinds just like this on boats. But with the Axe blind, what we've come to realize is that this thing used on the shore, on the edge of a cattail marsh or slough, or anywhere in a fence row for goose hunting and dry fields, it is super effective, and it's probably become more commonly used that way, on the shore instead of in a boat. All you need to get to use it on the shore is a leg kit. We sell this leg kit. It's 4 legs, it's adjustable. You can set the height of the blind with the legs so that you're comfortable on your stools depending on how tall your guys are or how tall your seats are. It's versatile, guys. It's effective. The Axe Combo Boat Shore Blind from Banded. Hey guys, I'm Keith Allen and I'm here with Christian Curtis from Banded, and we want to talk to you guys and show you all about our Axe Combo Boat Shore Blind. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is the Axe blind, generally speaking, is called a pop-up blind. At least that's what we call it. So it pops up and pops down, so it allows for easy transport in a boat or on a trailer, on an ATV. So we've got it set up. The top is slightly back. If we were hunting, we would be underneath this top. So the first thing we're going to do is pop the thing down, Christian, and how we're going to do that is we're going to get the lid out of our way first. We like to roll it up. It's out of the way. Then when we pop this blind down, it just becomes a rectangle that's, like I said, easily transportable. So let's get this out of the way. Now we're going to just move our legs, get them right there. And as you can see, this blind will just fall down, just like that. Now we have something that if we're in a boat, now you don't even know the blind's in the boat. We can operate the boat just like there was no blind in it. And that's really cool, but also for hunting on the shore or in fence rows for geese, you can just put it on a trailer, or heck, we put them on racks of ATVs before. So it's popped down. Now, if we're gonna use it, let's pop it up. That's all there is to it. You just raise it up and put the legs in place in the brackets. You can use the pins. Christian and I we actually don't use the pins because we like to be able to quickly drop the legs down. And as you use these things, you get really good at it. So then, now all we would do is, if we were going to hunt, is cover it up. We'd be underneath it. Now, obviously, we've talked on the piece about it, using it as a shore blind specifically. You would use a leg kit, which would raise it up, and then it wouldn't be on your head. In a boat, it's up. It'll go right over your head. So that's popping it down, popping it up. Hey guys, I'm Keith Allen, and I want to talk to you guys about the Axe blind, using it on a boat. Now, this is how we grew up hunting with this style of blind in a boat, so we're excited to talk to you about it. The first thing that we do with using it on this boat is placing it in a boat and seeing where we want to put it. Now, we just got this boat. We've never put a blind in it, and we want you to see this real time, the considerations that we make. And Christian, if I miss something, we'll talk this through. But one of the first things we figure out is which side do we want to hunt out of this boat. And that is always determined by who's going to be driving the boat and which hand they use to shoot. So I'm right-handed. If this is going to be my rig and this is going to be my boat, I want it to be facing to where I'm shooting, sitting on the back bench and shooting right-handed out of the blind. That way you're not backwards as I would think of it to be. Now, if you're left-handed, you would want to turn this blind around and hunt out of this side so you could sit on the back bench and shoot left-handed. That's how we like to do it. It'll go either way, but you got to pick one way or the other, and that's the first determination. So let's just set it on the boat and see where it would work better. This War Eagle has some really neat boxes on it that were actually designed for this style of blind, where the gun boxes are the same height as the back deck, so the blind really sets on it really nicely.
I can tell you that even without this type of box, if you're a John boat or a V-bottom, if it's an open bow boat and it doesn't have a side console or anything to obstruct the blind, it is going to work in your boat. Now this is a 17-foot boat, 54 inches wide, and this is our XL blind. This blind is 11 foot long, 48 inches wide. We have a 9-foot model that would work on this boat, and we also have a 14-foot model that would work on this boat. The beauty of the axe blind is you pick the size of just your preference and style of hunting. We like a slightly smaller blind for what that boat can handle. That way when you drape the net around it, you have very few shadows and it's real deadly. It actually almost makes the blind look really low when the blind is slightly smaller. So I would even like a 9-footer on this boat. That's your preference. Christian, you got it about where you want it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so we've got the blind placed where we want it. Now the only step is to mount it. Now with the axe blind comes with some riv nuts, and you can use those riv nuts. You just drill a hole that's just right at the same size of that riv nut, and you just push it in and tighten it down. That's one way to mount it. This blind, I think, because of these boxes, I think we ought to just drill holes and use bolts, just regular old-fashioned bolts. We'll do that. Another way we mount them, and we do this as often as anything, is just using self-tapping screws. So you just set the blind wherever you want it, and then wherever it's touching metal, a lot of times it'll be touching on the front bench and then the back bench of the boat. That's ideal also. And then you just take 4 points where it's touching, drill a hole, and use a self-tapping screw or the riv nuts or bolts if you can. Now, there's no science to it, guys, but you need to get it mounted. And when you do get the bottom frame mounted, not only does that allow you to run down the highway, it makes this pop-up function really well. I mean, because the bottom is steady, you'll see later, we'll show you, that it'll just pop up and down and will function like a dream. And that's when it's really slick, when you got to pop it down real quick, go get some ducks, come back, tie up to the willows, and pop it back up and get back to hunting. Let's show you guys how we're going to mount this blind. All right, guys, so we have placed the blind where we want it, and now we're going to mount it. And how you do that is we see wherever the blind is touching something solid, and we want to affix it to that point. Again, we've said this, but there's basically 3 different ways. We can use the riv nuts that we provide, we can use self-tapping screws, or if you're able to get a nut to it, you can use a bolt. So I think that's what we're going to do. I see here that we're touching metal right here. We can drill a hole right in here and run a bolt through here to this box, and we can also come up here and do the same thing right in here. We got 2 on this side, we'll have 2 on the other side. We'll have it mounted in 4 places. We won't have any holes in the back bench at all. It'll be really slick. So when it's not duck season, we just pull these bolts out, take the blind out, we got it out. So let's do that. Let's get a drill. We'll drill some holes and affix the bolts to it, and we're set. We'll put this bolt in, using a little lock washer there. As always, I could use 3 hands. Spot right there. Beautiful. All right, got that fixed, and do the 2 on the other side and tighten it down, and this blind isn't going anywhere. And like I said before, you'll really see the function of the blind improve when you have it mounted solid. That's the benefit of using the axe blind on a boat, is when you're working the blind up and down with the bottom affixed to something, it'll work really slick. Okay guys, so we've assembled the blind, we've placed the blind on the boat, we've mounted the blind to the boat securely, and now we're just going to show you how the thing functions, popping it up and down. So let's pop it down. We just Like we always say, we pretending we just shot a duck. That leg out of the way, Bo. Just drop her down. Now, you don't even know the blind. You use the boat as if the blind's not even in the boat. All right, guys, so we've pulled up into the willows. We've tied our boat snugly to a tree so it's stable, and all we got to do is pop it up and hunt. We like to work together, like I mentioned earlier. Raise it up at the same time and drop it down at the same time. Everything works a lot better. Another nice thing about the axe blind is when you raise up, these little bungee cords, people might not know what those are there for. Those bungee cords bring the leg up so they're just right there. It's just a short run to put it in the bracket. So now we've got it popped up. Let's just fix the top. The top of the axe blind is, in my opinion, what makes it superior to any other blind. Not only does it serve as a nice rain top, blocks the wind, makes the whole blind warmer, but the ducks overhead can't see you. So so when we use this, they can't see you. Then when we're gonna shoot, we just slide it back. There's nothing mechanical about it. There's nothing that can break on it. We hear all sorts of ideas of things you might do, but we've used this style of blind for 30 years. And you can't beat it. A lot of times, if you got a lot of cover, you can just roll this blind, this top under, and have it about half closed, and you never have to throw anything. You don't have to do anything violent or aggressive. You just slide out with your guns. The ducks aren't flaring. This top is what makes the axe blind the best boat blind and shore blind on the market. The axe from Banded.